Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yandan with Evening News. And the headlines. Court asks Nagaland government not to make any appointment except through Nagaland Staff Selection Board. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio emphasizes on the need to promote indigenous games, especially wrestling. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton inaugurates two major road projects under 37 Assembly Constituency. And NLA Speaker Sharingain Longkumer says state government is focusing on empowering women entrepreneurs to improve socio-economic development of the state. With the new Omicron variant of coronavirus causing concern, we appeal our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, to get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1-00345-0019. And now the news in detail. Guwahati High Court Kohima bench has asked the state government not to make any appointment except through Nagaland Staff Selection Board (NSSB). Hearing public interest litigation on Wednesday, a two-judge bench of Justice Sungkupchung Serdo and Justice Devashish Barua ordered that no appointment should be made in all the posts and services mentioned in the affidavit except through the board provided in the regulation. The bench also observed that a required quorum for functioning of the board as stipulated in the NSSB Regulation 2020 has been achieved with the appointment of the chairman and 1 member. The bench further directed the government to provide the required infrastructure and ministerial staff at the earliest so that the board can start functioning effectively. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio has said of all the sports played in the state, wrestling, being an indigenous game, could not reach out to many Naga tribes except the Denime taking forward this indigenous game. Speaking at the inaugural program of the Naga Wrestling Championship held today under the 50th meet of Angami Sports Association at the local ground Kohima, Rio expressed happiness over the decision of Angami Sports Association to popularize wrestling amongst the other Naga tribes and hoped the various sports associations will support and take the game to greater heights. The Chief Minister is of the view that many things have been achieved but much has to be done in promoting indigenous games. Rio also suggested the need to form expert committees on wrestling so as that proper rules are regulated and reviewed. He opined that if wrestling is categorized in light, medium and heavyweight, it would attract more participation. He said the state has promising sports talents. However, due to lack of funds for proper infrastructure and training facilities, our young talents are unable to compete with others. Rio also invited the sportspersons to avail the facilities available in the newly built Nagaland Olympic Association office at Kohima. He further said the Regional Center for Sports Excellence is being set up at various locations of the state. Rio said besides Kohima or Dimapu, the government is planning to set up the sporting centers in all the districts. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton, in charge of BWD, Roads and Bridges, today inaugurated 2 major road projects under 37 Assembly Constituency. Patton said road development is for every individual to keep connected for the convenience of the people. He said the 2 roads built at Woka Town to Longidang, Nero Range, Upgradation Road, and Yikam Village Circular Road in England Range will become a lifeline for the people to commute easily as well as to use for commercial purpose. Patton also assured to bring more development and sought cooperation and support of the public. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Nagaland Legislative Assembly Speaker Sharingain Longkumer said the state government is focusing on the empowerment of women entrepreneurs so that the socio-economic development of the state can be improved. Addressing the women entrepreneurs during a multi-stakeholder conclave organized by the Investment and Development Authority of Nagaland at Kohima today, The Speaker said the state government had announced its new startup policy in February 2019, wherein 25% fund were allocated for women entrepreneurs and plans to facilitate 500 startups in 5 years through Startup Nagaland. He stressed the need for the policy consultation to also focus on rural women entrepreneurs so as to benefit them. He said unless women entrepreneurs suggest policy requirements to the government, it will not know which sector to focus on, and invited the Women Entrepreneurs Association to send a delegate to attend the upcoming budget session in March to view the deliberations that take place in the highest policy-making institution in the state. Directorate of Industries and Commerce, Nagaland, today organized a one-day capacity building training program on packaging for export of agri-food, handloom and handicraft products of Nagaland under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Director MSMEDI Dimapu Tali Longcha encouraged the Naga entrepreneurs to compete in the world market by meeting the requirements of the world standards. To fulfill this, he said the entrepreneurs need to come up with innovative ideas to attract the customers and the market. He said based on what is being manufactured, particularly in food processing, the quality and packaging of the products need to be taken care of carefully. Joint Director and Head Training and Education Division, Indian Institute of Packaging, Mumbai, Dr. Bapu Rao Kuduri, said packaging plays a very important role, be it in the agri, handloom or handicrafts sector, and today it is recognized by the product manufacturers, traders, retailers, and end users as a very important component of a product. Commissioner and Secretary Social Welfare Department and Administrator NSSWP Sarah R. Ritze today inaugurated the Saki One-Stop Center Twensang in the presence of the DC Twensang, Kumar Ramnikant and others. Sarah appreciated the district administration for the successful completion of the OSC building in the district. She said OSC facility does not belong to social welfare alone, but is a collective property of the stakeholders involved in helping women in distress, irrespective of departments. Sarah encouraged the people of Twensang to cooperate with the district administration and OSC so that the district will function at its best and benefit the people of the district. District Disaster Management Authority Beren, under the aegis of Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority, organized the annual mock exercise on earthquake at Jaluke today. The drill area was set up at Government High School Ground, Jaluke. A simulating effect of an earthquake measuring 8.7 magnitude on the Richter scale was carried out at St. Xavier School and ITM School, Jaluke. Deputy Commissioner and Chairman DDMA Beren Sendi Wapang, who was the main observer, pointed out some of the communication gaps and public participation in affected areas during the rescue operation, which needs to be improved. Aya, however, lauded the officials involved, the public and the students for their cooperation in making the exercise a success. And now to end the news, here are the main points again. Court asks Nagaland government not to make any appointment except through Nagaland Staff Selection Board. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio emphasizes on the need to promote indigenous games, especially wrestling. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton inaugurates 2 major road projects under 37 Assembly Constituency. And NLA Speaker Sharingain Longkumer says state government is focusing on empowering women entrepreneurs to improve socio-economic development of the state. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.